How is our eco so good? We now actually have a full eco without a single settler gathering anything. One of you guys sent me this beautifully f***ed up strategy that makes it possible to wage a holy war while simultaneously abusing the stock market. We can spam various small bonuses and trickles, combine them with 9 town centers providing free units and even more resources, and add in 5 maxed out Lombards to get a surprisingly strong eco without a single villager. But how do we actually pull this off, and can it win us a game against real players? Let's find out. Okay, ladies and gents, today we're playing on the Ozarks map, and we've got a nice 2v2 going here. On our team, we are of course playing La Bella Italia, doubtlessly the greatest civilization ever, and our teammate is playing France. On the enemy team, we're facing Russia and the British Empire. And for once, the early game is pretty unique because we start with this majestic architect. And he will actually construct almost any building completely for free, it just takes him forever. However, if we just quickly gather up some of this timber here, we can also pay for the building, in which case he just builds it really quickly instead. What we'll build first here is the humble market, and that's because of Italy's other unique faction bonus. With every upgrade, we also get a settler for free. At this market, we can get a handful of upgrades that cost less than a settler would, so not only do we get the bonus from the upgrade itself, but also a discounted settler. So we're basically training 2 of them in parallel from minute 1. This lets us get a lot of settlers while still aging up in good time, especially if we get good treasures. And sure enough, by virtue of some great teamwork, we and our teammate get some great food treasures. And so we age up in decent time with 16 settlers. Good start. While we age up, we can get some more upgrades, more settlers and more eco. But this is where we already start the first part of today's glorious build. We can use our architect over here to build up a Lombard. The Lombard is a unique building for Italy that lets us invest our money and get a 1-to-1 return rate on resources. Much better than a market. And we can actually stack these bad boys and convert resources very quickly. Later on, we can even buff these bad boys even more with some cards, but we'll get to that. For now, we can send this Basilica from the home city. The Basilica is basically a church for when you need to compensate, but more importantly, it gives us this massive radius that makes our architects build faster. And once we have this bonus, we can send out our unpaid labor here to build a ton of free infrastructure, barracks, more Lombards, and a second Basilica. Around this time, we can send one of the best shipments we have in the early game, the Venetian Arsenal. This bad boy provides a training boost to nearby military buildings, which we can of course make good use of. But more importantly, this arsenal has a lot of upgrades. We sent the Milanese arsenal card as well, making all of our arsenal upgrades 50% cheaper and unlocking even more of them. And now we can spam out a crazy amount of settlers. Just a super quick interjection here, this strategy was sent to me by a viewer. This is Kami the Crayon Chewer's idea. If you have a fun meme strat like this one, or another game I should try out, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear. Anyways, back to the video. We are in a 2v2 situation today, so getting a little army together before we get caught off guard might not be the worst idea. We fortunately already have some barracks up, so we train some pavisiers and some pikemen, and we get our infantry upgrades, even more free settlers for the machine. We'll send some lovely shipments around now too, and these will be very good to have for today. We've got the Advanced Lombard, which makes our Lombards work twice as fast, and of course, the Papal Arsenal, which improves our Papal units. Right, this would be a good point to mention another cornerstone of today's build, the Papal units. At our Basilica, we can requisition these majestic units, with a god-given right to be broken. The only problem is that they clog up our shipment queue and take forever to get here, but we will address that later. For now, we have a Cherokee settlement over here, which just makes this even more broken. Because they give us access to even more cheap upgrades, and they actually have an improvement that makes our other upgrades cheaper. Combining this with more Basilica upgrades, and the upgrades at our newly built mill and estate, we reached a settler limit not even 20 minutes in, with just 2 town centers. We do unfortunately stop getting settlers now, as funny as that would be, but we can age up to the industrial age. And one quick look at our score shows us the power of this boom. And the real exploit hasn't even started yet. From our final age up, we received some free Swiss guards, some of those papal units I talked about. As you can see, they have very balanced stats, and they even absorb damage dealt to allies. What were you thinking, World's Edge? Whatever, as I mentioned, they train really slowly, so we train up one other batch but leave it at that for now. Our settler limit has already been reached, but we can still get some more architects. They'll build up a big, beautiful border wall for us. Now, the Mexicans aren't paying for it, but on the bright side, neither are we. We'll send some final shipments to prepare, and we'll soon be ready for our revolt. We send a factory, greater hit points for all of our free buildings, and we start the very Christian and extremely profitable practice of usury. When we invest in Lombards, we now not only get everything back, we even profit. So, we are now ready to revolt. Fuck. And so, we are now ready to revolt. We head over to one of our town centers and we start the revolution to Brazil. Oh, that music gets me every time. Now, not unlike our Canada revolt, we get absurd amounts of militia. The only downside is that these guys are somehow even worse than literal Canadian peasants. In my endless smooth brain, I didn't notice that our architects also got transformed into militia, so I destroy our town centers to reposition. Fortunately, we still have our explorer, and he can just quickly build one back up solo to let us get some architects again. But that's irrelevant. From our revolt, we got about 200 revolutionaries, well over the pop limit. What a time to push. We just send waves of bodies and actually make a good push. We destroy this cute little church and kill many more enemies before pushing again and again. We do eventually run out of revolutionaries, and I do actually stop their free training because they're honestly worth less than the population space they occupy. But from here on out, it just goes beautifully. From all the XP we got from the meat grinder, we sent the citizens card and get a notable coin trickle. We sent the Amazonia card and get a notable wood trickle. We sent the
Donatarios
card and get 2 extra town centers, bringing us up to 9. And finally, we sent the
Feitorias
card and get an everything trickle. Actually, we get an everything trickle for each and every town center. And finally, the magnum opus. We sent the Brazilian importers card. This humble shipment gives us some wagons, and it makes every future shipment arrive in just 10 seconds. Every shipment, including papal units. We use our architects to build a little outpost, and we just begin the spam. Our enemies have a whole army here, but we can spam out Zouaves, funny German halberdiers, these absolutely monstrous papal lancers, and we have plenty of free pop and a full eco on top of it all. Like, actually, how is our eco so good? We fight them at a great ratio, and though eventually they do push us back, we can just mass again and again different units without our eco even denting. So we also push again and again. They can hold us off, but our teammate is not idle, and carves out their base from behind as we wage our holy war here. Before long, our enemies resign, and the Pope is once again the supreme authority. Alongside Louis, I guess. So there you have it, folks. Holy war and stock market abuse in one build. Can we win a game with it? Resoundingly yes. Can it win us the game? Yes, but we had a strong teammate. It definitely won't let you outfight multiple enemies. Best case, you'll beat one enemy with insane amounts of swag. Thank you again to Kami the Crayon Chewer for this awesome strat. If you've got a funny strategy or another game I should try, please do leave it in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. Bye now.